Oh, fancy. We are back with Allie's third session with clicker training our black lab puppy. And what a nice little dog. You see, when you do things and you've got a little bit of a habit, or you turn things into a little bit of a ritual with the dog, then they just start to kind of expect what's going to happen next. Now, we don't want the dog to anticipate everything that we're going to be doing, but boy, if they've got some good expectations on how to work with you, that's a great thing. So I can go ahead and get started right away by giving her a click and some food. I got my kibble here in my pocket, and it's dinner time for her. Okay, so she's hungry. She's had a good day. She's been resting inside for a while. Just came out. It's a little bit hot, so again, we won't be out real long, and you want to keep your puppy sessions short anyway. But just you can see with just a little bit of repetition how effective this is and how much focus we're getting from the dog, which this focus is going to go real nice into what we're going to be doing today. This like little bit of longer attention from the puppy is going to help us with our next step. Get these little eye boogies for you. Yeah, you want to give me some kisses? Thanks, love. Okay, so just a quick recap. So session number one, we loaded our clicker or charged the marker. So we click and then give the dog food. Did that for several sessions so she knows what to expect. Session two, we started shaping some of those behaviors that we're going to need the dog or want the dog to understand as she goes on into adulthood. Things like maybe sitting next to us and looking at us. That's a good behavior to shape. Things like following us around when we're walking, so she gets the idea of being in maybe like a more of a heel position with us. So when she's right there, we'll take that. Yep, very good. You see, she likes jumping up onto things, and you know, I'm okay with her jumping onto dog beds, jumping onto the tables we've got out here. What I'm not going to be okay with is her jumping on people a whole lot, right? So what we like to do is say, okay, dog, I know you like to jump, and that's fine, but do it on things that are appropriate, not people. There you go. I like to use tree stumps, park benches, things like that. So that was what we did as far as shaping some of these behaviors. We've got the walk, very nice. Yep, very good. We've got going to a place, very nice. One of my favorites is maybe we'll get her to walk over here. Instead of jumping on the table, I'll help her learn to sit beside me like this. Oh, very nice little puppy. Good job. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Remember, I kind of switch it up. I don't use the clicker every time. Good girl. Very nice. And then I also don't always use food every time. So she comes up on the table, I'll maybe give a click and tell her good girl with a little pet. Yeah. Good girl and a pet. So remember that timing is real important. So notice again, when I say good girl, I pause and then I pet. If you get in the habit of like reaching into your bag or starting to touch the dog and then say good girl, even if you do them simultaneously, you can get some confusion. We want the dog to be real clear, good girl, and then the pet comes. Yeah. All right. We're going to start adding a little bit of duration to what we're asking her to do. You see, she's already kind of offering it naturally, which is good. But, you know, when we're trying to create a dog that is clear on things like, hey, when we're having a conversation with our family or our neighbors, or you know, you're talking to somebody, the dog needs to be in this state where they're still kind of attentive and relaxed, but they're not coming off or they're not coming out of their sit. They're just hanging out and being right there with you. So when we add this duration, a couple things that I'm going to point out. I start real small. Okay, so we'll give her a little break. Yeah, you're a puppy. You're a puppy. Remember, we want to have fun and give love, but no jumping on people. Good job. You did the pup. What do you think, buddy? Yeah. Yeah, so if she jumps, I'll just pull my affection right away. Good girl. Very nice. You're a smart girl. All right, so as we start adding this, a couple things to take note. At the beginning, it's small. So watch, I'm going to take just a couple steps back. Good girl. And then return to her. Couple steps back. If she comes off, it's no big deal, but there's just no there's just no reward at that point. So guys, for us, this is phase 1, obedience. And that operates in 2 of the learning quadrants, which is positive reinforcement, which is right there. I want you to stay there. And then negative punishment. So right now, I withhold the food, which is the negative part. I don't give, oh, look at that. Now, positive reinforcement. So we've got positive reinforcement because we're adding the food in. And then we've got negative punishment if the dog comes off. Look at you. Now, I will tell you, I did a couple sessions of this the other day just to kind of get her ready. No, doesn't work like that. Good girl. So you watch the learning take place in phase 1. It's positive reinforcement, no, and negative punishment. Good girl. Good girl. No. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, guys. I'm going to do a double click and I'm going to give her 4 pieces of the kibble. Jackpot, because she made the connection. Good. Allie, free. Yeah. Okay, so you just saw that take place there where the learning happened, where she put herself back up onto the board. All right, so that's one thing, adding in a little bit of distance like that. The other thing, I want to be able to turn around, okay? I got to be able to move freely and make sure I'm nice and relaxed. You don't want to have a dog that you have to walk gingerly or feel like you're walking on eggshells. Look, it's okay if the dog makes mistakes. That's part of the learning process. So be natural and normal. And as the dog continues to be on their place, keep paying them. Very nice. Remember, guys, this is their dinner. Okay, so I'm not pumping the dog full of treats. I'm just using her daily food rations appropriately, and I'm using it productively. Very nice, little buddy. Good job. Allie, free. Yeah, free. Look at you. What are you doing? You like this, huh? Good girl. Oh, good girl. All right, so I'll do one more where I'll show you. I want to be able to move around. Good girl. Yeah. I want to be able to spin and turn and maybe go left and go right. And she needs to learn. Good girl. Good. Positive reinforcement, negative punishment here. So believe it or not, that's a form of punishment. Good girl. Good girl. Look at you, sweetness. Look at that good girl. No, good girl. Good girl. Now, notice she keeps jumping up a little bit to spring and get this kibble. Instead of me paying her for that, I want to teach her to keep all 4 paws on the floor. There you go. That just is nice so that the dog's not jumping up all over people when they're trying to say hi. Yeah, good job, buddy. Yeah, good. Okay, guys, so we didn't add our leash in today. We'll do that next time. But what we've got is a little more duration with the puppy. All right, where she'll stay here. Take a deep breath, maybe do some stretching, maybe do some movements that the dog might see out in the real world. And she's learning, hey, if I just stay put, good things are going to happen. Really nice, Allie. Good girl. And remember, if you want to get a little fancy, teach them to come between your legs on a recall. Good. Allie, free, free. All right, come between my legs. Let's see. Oh, come on. Between the legs, right to the side. Just for fun. I don't know if we'll do anything with it or not, but it is fun to do. Allie, all right, come on, buddy. Come on. Between the legs. Yeah. Look at you go. Look at you go. Last thing we're going to end her with, something that I showed you a little bit during our shaping. She's had a couple sessions since then. I want to see if she can spin around on the small table. Can you get the whole way around? Can you do it? Can you do it? It's so hard. It's so hard. Good job. And now check this out, guys. Oh, good girl. Good girl. So we're shaping that down. Shaping that down. Good dog. Good dog. Good dog. All right, Allie, free. All right, guys, that's Allie's third session, our black lab puppy, doing a little clicker training, doing some foundation work. Happy dog training. We'll see you soon.